Today here we're going to pull a drum off of a tapered axle Mopar. This is a 1959 DeSoto with 12-inch brakes, but this applies to any drum removal with the tapered axle design that they used up through 1964. This is the Les Fairbanks wheel puller, so I will put a link in the description, but this is available through a guy who is a member of the Chrysler 300 Club and a member of the National DeSoto Club. He is in, this design is, in my opinion, the best available. So it comes with these studs, left and right hand thread. And then there's a nut and a washer that will thread on. And then there's a plate here. So make sure you got your cotter pin out, and then this nut has to be loosened. Leave it on the threads here so that the drum doesn't just come flopping off, but make sure it's loose so that there's room to travel. Additionally, if you're not working on a car with frozen up brakes, you can, on the back side, there's two, they look like bolt heads back here. They're the cam adjusters. You can loosen up the brake shoes as it shows in the service manual, which directions. On the rear on this particular one, this is the left rear of the car, I had to take them both towards the center in order to de-adjust them. If you're working on a parts car where the brake shoes are frozen to the inside of the drum, that's no worry either. This wheel puller, like I said, is the best that I've found on the market out there, and it will take them off a car that's been sitting for 40 years out in a field too. In that case, all I would recommend is taking a sledgehammer and hitting around the drum in and out and around the edge several times just to try and bust up the bond between the shoes and the drum if possible, but this will take it off anyhow. So I've gone ahead already. I had taken out the cotter pin. I loosened this nut. I got all of these threaded on. They all just went on by hand. You may need to use a wrench if yours are a little tighter. Remember, left-hand threads. It's not lefty-loosey like normal. It's left is to install. So I got these all on, and then I'm going to take this plate. There's a little spot on the back side that sits over the hub, and I am going to slide this on. Bear with me while I'm doing this one-handed. And then all of these are going to go on. And again, left-hand thread, so you spin to the left. And of course, this one I did not get on straight. And now it's trying to pull the whole stud out. So there we go. There we go. Now it's started properly. Make sure that's snug back there. What's nice about this design too is conveniently these nuts that were used on this are the same 3/4 inch socket that you would use to remove the drum in the first place, or the wheel studs, lug nuts. So I got this set to loosen, which for left would be tighten. We're just going to go around kind of in a star pattern. There, the drum just popped. I do just a little more to make sure it's coming off here. And that should be it. The drum's loose. There's a gap back here. This is why you want the nut to be out too, because that gives the drum a little room to slide out. But the nut's on there for this plate and to make sure the whole thing doesn't flop off. So there it is, the Les Fairbanks wheel puller, tapered rear axle, and drum removal without really too much work. If you're heating this thing and beating on it and breaking stuff and bending over the end, you are doing it wrong. Get the right puller and do it right.